watching Kyle Royer build Excelsior, um, the dedication that guy has. He's kind of childlike, but at the same time, he's extremely skilled, and it's kind of nice to see. For me, because for me, really, that's entertainment. Um, Watching somebody take raw material, basically nothing. It's just block of steel, and then bend that material to your will, and then you end up with something that is, really special. But you see, a lot of people have great ideas. Very few people can take that idea and have it in their mind like an artist who draws a picture. They always say that I already had it in my mind. That doesn't work for me. Uh, Creating. I always like riding the bikes, but you know what? I realized after my last accident, and Katie decided for me that I was too stupid on a bike, and so no more bikes. But once I quit riding, I realized that what I really missed was building them. That's what I really missed. That was the most fun for me. I never liked off the shelf shit because, uh, well, it's off the shelf. And I can tell you that very few motorcycles when I was getting ideas for the last bike, because I decided I was going to do uh, something a little more radical in a street bike, so that something that I could change the tire and ride it on the street, put a shock back on it, take out the rigid bar, put in a shock, so the geometry and everything had to remain the same, but still be 8 inches over. And that was really fun. That was challenging. That was fun. When I rebuilt the body panels, everything had to be elongated. And for me, that was kind of easy for me, making the bucks for that. It was pretty easy because I enjoyed every minute of it. It was a lot of fun. It really was. Um, I would say 80% of my bike was custom made, nothing off the shelf. No, no chrome, all hand polished aluminum. Every part, every piece. Even the solid strut knuckle was highly polished to 3000 grit. And I found pleasure in that. Now, writing, that generated a lot of adrenaline, but maybe not as much satisfaction, really. That starting with a stock motorcycle with 1,000 miles on it, and then tearing it all the way down where everything is apart, including the motor, and then saying, how can I make this better? What do I want? Well, I couldn't buy what I wanted. And it was that way from the fucking wheels all the way up to the handlebars. I even had to design and build my own handlebars. That I started a patent on them, and then I decided it would just be a waste of time, and lawyers would just want to suck money out of me, because it would be a utility patent, and doing a small entity utility patent usually means you're going to get your shit stolen. So yeah, custom making and manufacturing. I guess that's why I find Kyle's channel so entertaining, because he's so skilled and he's picky. He's picky. He did some bluing one time, and I mean, it looked pretty damn good to me, but he said, no, there's these tiny little specks here that I don't, and he completely strip it down and do it again. I appreciate that. It shows that the end product really does matter, and it's not a $65,000 sword. It's much more than that. I think whoever bought that Excelsior from him got a great deal. It was probably closer to $150,000 sword. But Kyle, being childlike and enjoying his work so much, I think he undersold that sword. I think he didn't get enough out of it because of what he put into it. And, whether the owners admired it as much or not. Even like the tang where he had to do the threading was just perfect. And the inlays and he has such a steady hand doing the cutting because you can't fuck that up. You spend weeks making a part and then you have this cutter in your hand and one mistake. And if you're a perfectionist, you're fucked because now you have to go back. You see, that's why he always builds the blade first and gets rid of any problem that could happen there and then all the other componentry, but he's just as picky about everything. So yeah, Excelsior, that was my favorite. Now the last sword he was going to build, I never saw that completed. I don't know if something happened. I don't know. I tried to find the videos. I'm looking right now. This is how I ended up here. I'm trying to find the video where that last big sword he was making, it was bigger than Excelsior. And I never saw the end of it. So I'm wondering, did it get finished? I think the last part that I saw was, let me see. Let's go to the, fucking commercials. 55 seconds. Wow. Skip in 55 seconds. You see, this is why I've been doing it on my phone. I don't get any of that shit on my phone. Watch the video I did. Get you with my Roku and my phone, and I'm doing Apple Play. They're 5-second skippables. I never get any of these unskippable 50-second, 60-second shit. This is from Roku, okay? But with Apple Play, they're all 5-second skippables. And it works, and it's been working very well. I'm sure YouTube will fucking stop it sooner or later. Kyle Royer, come on, let me, all right, so, there we go. Go to channel. Yeah, so 6 days ago, he finished his dagger, that was also fucking stunning. I think he's underselling these things. Maybe he needs an agent, if anyone's listening. 1 month, 2 months, and I'm done fitting my sword handle. That was 2 months ago. Okay, let me watch that one. Maybe that's the finish. That's Excelsior was my favorite because I thought it was sexier looking, okay? This one is just big, so I think someone ordered it. And I'm not sure how he does it now. Does he build a sword or does he get commissioned? I don't know. Somebody tried to commission me to build them a bike. They saw mine. I took it over to the bike shop when it was done. I was so proud. Man, I hauled that fucking bike everywhere. I don't know if I could be commissioned to do something if it would turn out the same way. He must get commissions from people, okay? Because he has a commitment to do a sword bigger than he's ever done before. That's not Kyle, okay? He would just as soon build a very sleek, beautiful dagger as some gigantic sword because they're such a pain in the ass, right? I got commissioned by this guy or propositioned for commissioning me to build him a Hayabusa like I had, but he wanted it 10 instead of 8, and he had all these things that he wanted. So he just wants to buy one. He just wants to buy one. He's not going to appreciate any of the work, blood, sweat, and tears, and the ideas and the emotions that go into completing an 18-month fucking build on a bike, everything custom made. They never want to pay for that. They never want to pay for that. The cheapest that one of my bikes that I would sell one for would be $70,000. That would be the cheapest that I would sell one for. And everyone wants to give you 35 because they don't understand that you're not a shelf You're not a fucking bike parts house where you just go and you slap all these parts together and da-da. It doesn't work that way, okay? You spend 2 months just getting all of your aluminum in a state to be polished. The frames are all sand casted, so they're like super rough. I could not believe. I have a video, I think, maybe on this one. I know it's on the Gamers page, of polishing. And fuck. 2 months? At least 2 months. It was at least 2 months doing the forks, the frame, and the side casings. And I was in shock when I first started taking the covering off the side casings. It was Bondo. And that shit was rough. The aluminum was rough. I mean, this shit came out of a sand casting, and they didn't smooth it, nothing. They knocked off the spools and sanded it where it was level and send that shit off for coating. And so that was a miserable fucking job. So what do I do? Charge by the hour or charge by the perfection of getting them to look like they're chrome? I could stop after a week if you're going to buy it from me. I'd stop after a week. But you see, if I'm going to be on it and someone's going to be looking at it and I tell them, yeah, this is all handmade, then it has to be perfect. And that's how Kyle is. Everything he does has to be perfect or he fucking restarts over. He starts over again. You know what I mean? The stress of taking a cutter to something that you've worked months on and one mistake and you're fucked. Oh man, you know? Yeah, I learned that the building was the best part of it, and that's probably what I missed the most. It used up all of my free time, most of my free time. Um, it gave me a place to go. It was entertaining when I got on it. Well, more than entertaining when you got on it. And it was a piece of art, and people liked looking at it. You could see it when they would walk up. They were just like, wow. And see, that's all the polished aluminum because it looks kind of like, if you've ever been around a chromer, they coat everything with nickel first. And that nickel looks amazing. It looks more like silver. It's softer. It's just as beautiful. It kind of has a little bit of a gold tint to it. You know what I mean? Just absolutely beautiful, and that's what I wanted. I did not want to use chrome. Chrome looks cheap, and usually it's made cheaply and chromed to make it look good. You look at some custom bikes, and everything's got a fucking manufacturer's name on it. Because that's how the manufacturers are. They want you to damn well know that this is, Spider side covers or whatever. They all have their fucking logos all over everything, and I hate that. Okay? There should be none on there. None. So I made everything by hand. Triple tree, handlebars, all the way down. The only thing I didn't manufacture myself, including every bracket and most nuts and bolts on the bike, was the front forks in the frame. Everything else had to be thrown away. Everything else had to be modified. Well, no, there was a part I didn't modify, and there was one piece of chrome on the bike, but no one could see it. And that was the steel subframe that went underneath that supported the seat and the tail of the bike. That was it. You couldn't see it, so I didn't mind chroming it. And that way, I cut down on corrosion and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's for me, that's entertainment. This is why I like watching people work with their hands and build shit. Either a Chinese woodworker or Kyle Royer. It's all the same thing. It's somebody looking for perfection so that when it's finished and they show it to you, you understand what went into it. See? And it's why I'll never build a bike for someone else. It's like, I wonder, does Kyle build a sword and then offer it for sale? Or does someone say, this is what I want? Because on both swords, when he starts out, he says, this is my design for Excelsior. And he shows you the template and everything. This is what I did. I, me. And so I'm wondering, does he build a sword and invest all of his time, effort, and money in it, and then offer it for auction? Because I think he's selling them too cheap if he's being commissioned. I think that sword was worth well more than $65,000, probably more like 100 or 150,000, because of what went into it. Okay, so yeah, Michelangelo, he got commissioned too, and but he was the same kind of way, right? Perfection, you know what I'm saying? See, you you're either an artist or not, but any medium, marble, steel, aluminum, you know what I mean? It's all the same. It's all art, right? Swords, bikes, paintings, it's all the same.